Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well, you beautiful, beautiful people. It's Monday, baby. It's Monday, and here we are again, heading ourselves into a new week. But before we go down into a new week, video 1 of 2 today, because that's what this is. Video 1 of 2. So keep your eyes peeled later. Yes, this video will just be touching on, because we've obviously done the court, we play the court live, the court here, and the other day I did a live yesterday, talking about sort of the aftermath, some thoughts and feelings over it. But I appreciate that not everybody's got loads of time to sit through hour-long lives, do you know what I mean? So I want to do a little bit of a summary as to some points, some pointers, and how I felt about these pointers, and sort of a quick, snappy version of it. And look, initially I thought to myself, Ann Taylor, can you trust Ann Taylor? And I'm still on the fence. I wish I weren't, but I'm still on the fence. In one hand, I can say that I can appreciate the fact that things take time. Do you know what I mean? Even if someone's innocent and the state has them pinned as guilty, being innocent and being able to prove innocence, I get it. It's a difficult task, and it's not easy, especially if there's going to be a lot of things that are said that are going to be pointing the fingers at a specific person and saying this is the person who did it, and this is why we think that person did it. If he was driving around that night and there literally is a complete lack of alibi, if you like, it's been proven because of some of the things that some people have said, that some people are going to take that a certain way. And with a jury potentially being tainted, having a preconceived notion of perhaps what they even think before they go into this case, because I don't think that's escapable. You know, we heard in the court, I don't know whether everybody must know now, but it was kind of alluded to the fact that there would be a potential change of venue. I felt a little bit uncomfortable about that conversation. And in fact, I felt a little bit uncomfortable when you looked at the interaction between Judge and Father Christmas, Bill Thompson. It was like two buddies shouting across a bar at one another, do you know what I mean, and having a conversation. For me, there's a conflict of interest there, that these two are clearly friends. Do you know what I mean? It's clearly, and that doesn't work. In a situation like this, it doesn't work, especially when you feel that the court is already being controlled by the prosecution. That's not how this should be. The court should be completely non-biased, to be able to step back and be able to look at each argument as they come in and information as it comes in, with a completely free set of eyes, and be able to say, right, I can see this and I can see what's right. And that doesn't seem to be what's happening here. It seems to be that Idaho as a state and their representatives, being Bill Thompson and the University of Idaho, they are controlling how this is going. And I don't get it. I don't understand. And the only thing that you can go back to is what we've spoken about previously on protection. What's being protected here? Is it protecting the right to a fair and unbiased trial, or is it protecting the reputation of the students, reputation of the university, the area in general, and protecting potential who they class as victims in this crime? Albeit, you know, that these people were not, they weren't attacked. They were part of an atrocious crime. I'm not taking that away from, but they, at the end of the day, were witnesses. And when we have information in the background that seems to point towards the thing that keeps coming up and you can't let go of, and, you know, the exculpatory evidence, what is the exculpatory evidence? Is it that the rendition of what happened that night from Bethany Funk is completely different to Dylan Mortensen, and the whole house of cards falls down? But that's why I can't trust anything at the moment, and I can't say that I'm completely happy and confident in the likes of Ann Taylor. I haven't seen anything that has 100% said to me, yes, she has 100% got the, you know, Brian Koberger and his well-being at the forefront of her mind. To me, this seems to be a situation that in that court here, and she was saying things that I felt, if you was a PR person, which she technically, part of her job is, it's public relations. It's when she starts talking, people are looking to see what she says, to see whether she says anything that makes her client look innocent or guilty. And I personally felt that some of the things that she said in terms of talking about that they would have to go through Brian Goldberger's history and go back decades, go back and look and, we come forward. It made it look like she was basically saying he's done this crime, but we need to explain why that happened to make sure that people don't, they understand that it wasn't his fault. So they feel sorry for him. And I couldn't help, and I know some people, and of course people can disagree. Of course you can disagree, and I'm not saying I'm right, but what I am right is about how what she said made me as an individual feel. And I'm just one of many individuals, and when I was looking in comments, some people felt the same. And that's the point. It's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about how people feel when certain things are being said. And what Ann Taylor said made me feel a certain way about Brian Kohberger. And it made me feel that this was about her believing that he's potentially guilty, and she's going to have to try and, rather than get him off to explain why it couldn't have been him, why it was him, but it weren't necessarily his fault. And I hope that's wrong. But again, like I said, we've got a long way to go. Now, there is this tugging and throwing between, we want it done in the summer, we want to, get it done, and Ann Taylor saying we've got this to go through, we've got this much information to go through. It's very, very clear that the prosecution have not been coming forward given what is needed by the defence in order to defend. That's not happening. And when it is happening, it is not happening in a way that is promoting sort of speed and accuracy. It's like they're giving them everything and saying, what you're asking for is in there, but you're just going to have to find it. We've done our bit by giving you it. You've got to do your bit by finding it. And when we're doing the same dance that we was months ago, with this 51 terabytes or whatever it is of information, saying in amongst 51 terabytes, you have got everything that you need. You just got to look for it. And that's the entire argument. That's why we keep getting this 11 or 12 requests for discovery, because they're asking for specific things, and it's just that normal rebuff of, well, we don't have to give you it. We've already given you it. You've got it. You've got everything. You've got absolutely everything. So what Ann Taylor is saying is they are unprepared and they won't be ready. Then it's as simple as that. If you want me to do my job, then I will need more time, and I'll need more time because this is where we're at with it. But we're at a point where we just don't know what's going to happen. We're potentially looking at a situation where they want a trial in the summer, but then the flip side of that coin is that they're saying they want to have a change of venue, which then, why does it have to be a summer, a summer trial? They're saying that the trial could last for more time than what they initially said, sort of 15 weeks, was it? I believe they said, potentially. So a long, long trial, because Ann Taylor, again, had alluded to the fact there was a lot of stuff to go through. And I'm thinking to myself, what have you been given? What do you have access to? What is going to take that much time to go through? Like, she talks about witnesses, several witnesses, a large number. And it's like, what? I can't. I think it's clear that this is going to be a digital trial. This is going to be about social media accounts. It's going to be about what has been said backwards and forwards, behaviour of people online, whether there has been interactions. And again, I'm not saying there is, but if there is nothing and all that we have is what we have in the PCA / Exhibit A, I don't see how Ann Taylor has come to a summary that this trial itself is going to last this vast amount of time, when she's basically saying she already doesn't have everything she needs. So if she does have everything she needs, does she still think it would take X amount of time? I don't get it. It's a very difficult one to work out, and we came away from that hearing with many, many more sort of questions than we did answers. And I don't know how you guys think. I'd like to have a discussion. I know some of you joined me in the live. Thank you so much. I know some of you couldn't, and some of you don't have that amount of time. But let me know what you got from the court hearing. Like I say, I'd love to hear your comments down below and see where you are, whether you come away feeling more positive, whether you feel that this is just now Brian Kohberger's the guy, they're not interested in anything else. This is done and dusted. This is it. He's toast. He's toast, and it doesn't really matter whether he did it or not, because the University of Idaho and the Moscow PD and everyone involved in this, they cannot afford for Brian Kohberger to not be the person. And now this is about making sure that they nail this guy to the wall, and he goes away. Can you imagine what would happen if he got found not guilty, or something cropped up that proved that it wasn't him? There's going to be a few heads are going to roll, and some people are going to be under the spotlight, and these are powerful people, and they are going to do whatever they can to not be under that spotlight. But like I say, let me know down below, and I'll catch you all in video 2 later today.